Test, test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, test, test.
It happened this morning. I was going on Fresh FM and I was just feeling a bit touchy. And then they said, oh, I was just Dolan was singing Welcome Home. And then she said, and you're doing such a good job. And I'm sitting on the phone talking on the TV camera. So that's the real side. The real side.
No, thanks so much, Richard.
Come on through, ladies. I'm happy to hold your books and stuff for you. I mean, your papers, give me your papers and your hair. I'll hold them.
Hi.
There's another mate, is she not? Come on, Tanya. Come on, Tanya.
I told you about that.
I think I can't.
I got you back in the shop.
I would like to.
Cool. I'm Jim. Pleased to meet you, Paul. I'm not prepared for this.
Different day.
Yeah, well, it's been, I think last time I did a press interview here was December 2011 when we had the big floods in Nelson.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I set up the,
7 years.
yeah, and it was done in the room next door.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's just as well I'm not completely overwhelmed right now,
I was
isn't
going
it?
to say, it's not a new experience for you, but
If I get completely tongue-tied, you'll just have to take over for me, and I'll do the signs.
I'll have to sign being tongue-tied.
I'll do the sign.
Yeah,
He does
right.
oh God, what have I done?
Sounds good, mate.
Oh dear.
Roger's taking a breather, is he?
Yeah, Roger's got a day off today. Yeah, I was group controller up until, well, I retired last year and they brought me back just for a few days for this, but 2015 I think Roger took over from me, and I've been a controller since 1992, so it's a long time. Yeah, so, now I'm just an old man they bring back for a few days to help out.
Stand in here.
Yes. 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 All these wonderful people. Getting close?
Kia ora tātou. E tu ake ana I runga te whakaaro ko tahi, kei waina nui o tātou, o nā mate ki Motoweka, te rangatira Greg Wood, a moi mai, a moi mai. A koutou katoa tūhono hono, e te kaitiaki e te rohe kei konei, tēnā koutou, tūhono hono whakakotahitanga ki te mahi nui e te mahi kaha e te whenua nei. Nō reira, a mi noi tātou. I tō mātou matanui te rangi e te atua kaharawa whakarongo mai ki a mātou ho mai tō wairua, i te manaakitanga, I raro e te koroa e te rangi Māori e ake, amene. Morena koutou, my name's Barney Thomas and I'm representing these people standing behind me, and we are delighted to work together with the controller and the community of Aotearoa. So nō reira tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa.
Kia ora, Barney. Hello, my name's Jim Frater. I'm the controller for today. I used to be a controller and they retired me and then they brought me back because they thought I might be of some use today. Things went really well last night regarding the return of residents to Wakefield, and we thank the Wakefield people for their patience and we're glad everyone has been able to return to their homes. It was a long process and I just want to reiterate that the process is conditional, and if things change then they may need to evacuate, and they have to be, one of the conditions of re-entry was that they need to be ready to evacuate if necessary. As at 8 a.m. this morning, the Civil Defence Centre has shifted to the Richmond New Life Church. This will make things easier for everyone concerned, and that will remain open for as long as it's needed, and it's a place for people to go and ask questions and find out about the services available for people affected by the fire. Firefighters and other emergency services, or emergency staff, sorry, continue to make great progress in containing the fire, but we're no way are we out of danger just yet. We've got more than 600 people on the ground managing this exercise, fighting it on the front and managing the response and looking after affected people. We're very lucky to have NZDF here doing the catering and organising meals, and one of the issues we've had is actually finding accommodation for people, because accommodation here is very, very stretched right now. Today, the Group Controller, which is currently me, will be conferring with Fire and Emergency and others to look at whether a conditional return can be done to the other areas. This is what we're referring to, the valley areas. But they will still, because currently they're only able to get in for short-term access. They're allowed in for a few hours each day. I believe that's being arranged again today, and there has been for the last couple. What we're actually looking at now is a conditional return, so that they will be able to go into on a similar basis as the Wakefield residents have. Although the valley areas, as we refer to them, although they're all individual areas, they're different. Wakefield was evacuated because there was a threat of the fire. The other areas were evacuated because the fire was real. So conditions for them to be able to return need to look at risk, and currently we're working with the emergency services to assess the risk, and we're hoping later on today that we will have a much clearer picture on that, and it would be nice to say that we will have some good news, but at this stage it's too early to do that. We're in discussions today as to whether the formal state of civil emergency should be extended. That expires tomorrow, and we'll be able to let you know on that later on. Let you know about that later on today. The issues relating to the powers and prohibition that accompany the civil defence emergency, that is undertaking events that might start fire. We've done a lot more work around that, but that expires tomorrow as well, and we will also consider whether that needs to be extended with the emergency, and we will also look at the boundaries that have been created as to whether they need to be brought back or extended. We stress that the prevailing conditions mean the hazard presented by the fire is likely to remain for weeks, if not months. And your understanding is something that we are seeking on that. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not real. So we're now starting to look towards recovery. So that we're looking ahead so that when time comes that we will have a recovery plan in place. This event's been unprecedented in this region. We've had fires before, but not to this extent, and not those that have affected residences such as we have. We're aware that what this started was a spark, and it's covering a massive amount of area, and it's affected the lives of thousands of people. Where have I got to? So we're working with the agencies to ensure that communities affected by the fire have the resources and the strength to rebuild, and that's part of the recovery process, and we're going to be doing a lot more work on that this week. That's all I have at this stage. I would like to ask Fire. Come forward. Fire and Emergency.
Yeah, good morning everybody. I'm Trevor Mitchell, the Fire Controller for Fire and Emergency New Zealand. Our crews overnight had a really good night. It was pretty quiet. They managed to get a lot of work done overnight, and we continued with our drone flying during dark with the infrared camera, and it's still picking up quite a number of hotspots on some of our critical areas, and the crews will be back in there today digging them out and cooling them off. What was also showed up overnight was they flew the infrared camera over the Artify fire at Walters Bluff behind Nelson that occurred over the weekend, and they found another 8 hotspots on that fire. So that just sort of reinforces the fact that while you can't see anything, there's still hot areas there, and for the main fire at Pigeon Valley, it's going to be like that for some weeks or perhaps even months. So it's a long haul for our people and a long haul for the communities. So, so that's probably about all we've got for today. Our forecast for today is for some changeable winds, blowing from all sorts of directions, but not very strong. Our local people say it could get a little bit breezier in the afternoon, but it looks like it's going to be another good day on the hill for our folk. So, thank you very much. We're still running at about 190 to 200, yeah, on the hill, and about 80 overnight. So.
And helicopters?
We've cut back our helicopters. The fire's changed now from sort of open flames to underground, and the helicopters aren't effective on the underground fires. It's the hard yards of the guys on the ground.
What about heavy machinery?
Yeah, heavy machineries continue to operate with their ground crews, supporting them digging out these hot spots and so they can cool them down.
From what I understand, most of those people up on the hill are volunteers. I guess life goes on outside of this fire now. How do you keep resourcing a fire like this with volunteers?
We're very lucky that Fire Emergency's got about 12,000 volunteers across the country, and they're pulling them in, and everybody's sort of stepping up and wanting to help. So we're trying to rotate them through now in about 4 days on the hill and back home again. So we'll be getting into a rhythm now to do that, and you know, look for that continued support, and also using our local resources as well. So it's all a big team effort. Mm.
How many residents are still out of their homes?
Probably need to ask Civil Defence that question. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. I can't give you an answer right now on how many residents are still out of their homes, but we will have an update on that for you shortly. I'd like to now invite Zane from police.
Good morning again. Zane Hooper, Acting District Commander for Tasman District, joined by my colleague this morning from the New Zealand Defence Force. The re-entry of Wakefield went well yesterday afternoon into yesterday evening. There was a high presence in the area of both New Zealand police staff as well as New Zealand Defence Force. We maintained that presence overnight until 7 o'clock this morning. There are approximately 25 police staff in the area overnight, as well as 40 Defence Force staff. Those staff were in the area, high visibility, and walking on the street around the local community. This morning at approximately 7 a.m, we have reduced that staffing within the area, and we will maintain a police presence both patrolling in the area as well as the Wakefield police station will stay open. It's a community police station, normally only open when the staff are there, so that station will be staffed 24/7. At this stage we'll reassess that tomorrow afternoon. We've had no reports this morning of any significant issues that anybody has encountered as the result of re-entering their properties. However, it's very early days, and we appreciate that more reports may come as time progresses. Please be aware that cordons still remain in place in Pigeon Valley, Teapot Valley, Eves Valley, Golden Hills, Redwood Hills and Barton Lane West. We'd just like again to remind the community the state of prepare to evacuate remains in a large part of the environments that surround the fire, including Wakefield. This means that at any time until further notice you may need to re-evacuate your property. If you live in these areas and the call to evacuate is made, it is unlikely if you are outside the area that you will be able to return home prior to evacuating. So we would ask people to make sure if they're leaving the area that they give some thought to potentially having bags and other essential items with them so that if they didn't get the opportunity to return, they had some essentials. The road restrictions in relation to State Highway 6 and speed have been lifted this morning, and for all intents and purpose, the free flow of traffic around the area continues as per normal prior to the evacuation. If there's any questions?
Yeah, thank you. Look, is there anything more you can tell us about the investigations into the Walters Development Road at Iron stage?
So both those investigations are ongoing. There are a number of inquiries being undertaken by our staff in relation to those. I just ask anybody who has any information in relation to suspicious activity around either of those fires to contact us on 0800 08 02 19. Thank you.
Sorry, Inspector. So you cycled out 40 police officers yesterday and brought in 50. What are those extra police officers going to be doing?
So they weren't extra police officers, so they were police officers to do the change of shift effectively. So we're re-evaluating our deployment every day along with all the other agencies. We will maintain a presence in this community in an ongoing basis in the short term. Like the New Zealand Defence Force, we'll do some community reassurance and we'll have a physical and visible presence so that if we're called upon to evacuate the community, we can.
Thanks, Zane. I'd like to invite the Ministry of Primary Industries to talk to you now.
Good morning all, I'm Charlotte Austin, the Regional Controller for Ministry for Primary Industries, looking after the animal welfare component of this response in conjunction with the other agencies here. Now, with the re-entry of Wakefield, we've been able to have some fantastic news and some companion pets been able to leave the showgrounds where they've been looked after with their owners and head back into the Wakefield area. We have about 20 that have been put back home at this stage. Now, this is great news. However, we would encourage those with livestock at the showgrounds to perhaps leave them there at this stage. Additionally, if you would like to continue to leave your domestic animals there as a way of ensuring that they are looked after while this potential evacuation order is still in place, please do so. They will be looked after there, and it is just a way to help manage your own stress levels. Now, I just really would love to say a big thank you again to all of the amazing teams and volunteers that we have got on the ground here. So we've got the SPCA National Rescue Unit, Massey University, Hoo-Ha, NZ, Animal Evac, and all the others. Now, without this group, we really wouldn't have been able to care and look after these animals the way in which we have been able to do so far and will continue to do so. We've had animal welfare officers posted at the cordons when there has been assisted re-entry. We will continue to do so every time re-entry is granted into the valley areas. They will be there to assist and then provide water, stock and all those types of things, water and feed for stock as required up in the valley regions. We've visited all properties in Pigeon Valley and all animals still there are doing very well. Some were brought back to the showgrounds. We're following up on all animal welfare jobs that have been logged with the Eves, Teapot and Redwood Valleys. And all residents, as we said, were able to go back in yesterday and check in on their animals. We'll be continuing to do that work today. Now, please remember, if you do have any animal welfare concerns, to call 0800 008 333 option 4, and that will log any of your animal welfare concerns, and we are making very good progress on getting through that list and contacting owners. Now, Federated Farmers has opened its feed line to support farmers who have been affected. Farmers who are short of feed or grazing space or have feed to donate for this effort, please contact Federated Farmers. And we also have the Rural Support Trust boots on the ground in here to support. So please contact those people if help is needed. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd now like to invite Mayor Richard to wrap up.
Thank you, Jim, and good morning, everybody. And first of all, as I start, I would like to again thank Barney Thomas and Shane Graham, who are here, and they are representing the iwi that we have, and it's really great to have some of the iwi chairs with us this morning. All of the iwi have been really tremendously supportive of the whole community through this event, and that will go on as you know, for quite some time. I'd like to also say thank you so much to Whakatū Marae. They have their doors open. I think they're still open and they're available to people. We've had Te Awhina Marae and Te Hura Marae in Motueka and Canvasstown on standby if needed. Fortunately, that hasn't been at this stage, but we really appreciate them being available. And the other person I would like to give special thanks to is my friend Paul, who is not my eyes and ears, he's my eyes and hands. And I think he is helping tremendously, and I'm not sure how he's going with translating this for sign language. So thank you, Paul, you are tremendous, and we've all loved having Paul involved. I also do want to say to Fire and Emergency, MPI, Police, Air Force, Defence Force, many other agencies who are with us and helping, thank you so much. Both local people from these agencies and right through the country, a tremendous help. It's been wonderful to have people going back to Wakefield and to see that that has happened smoothly. I know that they'll be so pleased to be home. Quite stressful being out, with many children involved, pets involved, in the rural area, in the valleys, livestock. So it's all added pressure for different people in different ways. You will be aware that yes, Wakefield is back. I'm really looking forward to. I've got 2 family members in Eves Valley and Pigeon Valley. Once they are able to go back, that'll be great. But I'm the first to admit safety is paramount for both those going back and also for the emergency workers. And just being aware that this is, we're starting to get people home, but this event is going to be long term. The initial surge of activity becomes a long grind. As the recovery kicks in, there will be a huge amount to do, both in the forest and also for people on their properties. But thank you very much for the coverage you've given, and we really appreciate tremendously the support we've had from around the country. We've got a friendly town relationship with Grootegast, which is now west of Hortia in the Netherlands, where Abel Tasman came from, and they've been really supportive with international messages from the Netherlands and many other places internationally. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. That wraps it up, unless you have any questions. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I've just got one more question for Fire and Emergency. Those 4 hotspots next to the roads in the valleys, are they going to be a priority to get people back into those valleys?
Yeah, so our priorities today are strengthening those lines around the valleys, and yeah, so that's the tasking that we've given our crews for the day, and our crews overnight still working on those same areas. So yeah.
So those 4 specific hotspots, are they going to be one of the major priorities?
Yes, so there's actually dozens and dozens of hotspots along those road edges and those boundaries that they just got to work their way through. Then they'll generally dig them out, wet them down, move on to the next one. Yeah.
Yep, and the process of getting people back into their homes is about managing risk, and it's important for them, and it's important that we have the support, or rather that it's a combined effort. Okay, thank you, everyone. Well done. Good.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to go into the Mayor's office, just through there.
With the list that we've got, our previous